What's going on, everybody? What's going on, and welcome back to the Otaku Room with me, Dom, from the Otaku Room. This is the little piece and the part of the internet that we have carved out just for us anime fans, and I appreciate you guys coming through for another review. Today, guys, we were talking about that time I was reincarnated as a slime, episode number 34. This episode was titled Megiddo. Guys, what a freaking episode. Last episode, guys, we were left off on a cliffhanger with Rimuru flying over all of the army. We saw Benimaru pimp walking himself into a camp. We saw HAKURO and Datta just again pimp walking into the Otherworlders camp. We saw Gabiru flying over, to complete his mission. Like, what a freaking episode, guys. This was basically all of last episode that was like set dressing to kind of where it was like preparing us for what's to come. This episode really hit everything. I mean, I cannot tell you guys how many times I jumped and went like that and that during the reaction video, guys. If you guys want to see all of my reactions to today's episode, click on the card or in the pinned comments so you guys can check out my reaction to today's episode because it was freaking lit, guys. All right, so let me take two steps back. So that time I was reincarnated slime, episode number 34 was amazing because we got to see a ton of action that we haven't seen. This season we've seen some action. We saw the Hinata fight, so we did see some action. We got to see the Shion fight. We got to see the invasion fight. But I feel like this fight, these fights in this episode were even separated from the Rimuru Hinata fight because we got to see all of the sub or side characters. We got to see their fights, and we know that they are extremely powerful. And the reason that we didn't see them kind of live up to expectations during the last invasion fight was because their powers were like diminished by like half or if not even more. So it was so satisfying to be able to see all of the different sub-characters fights. I mean, last episode, guys, I was talking about Benimaru walking in like a pimp, and he has like this shadow cloak ability. So I mean, in the episode, like we got to see Benimaru fight, we got to see Gabiru. Gabiru, man, freaking, he destroyed them with his trident, and his whole dragon nude army or his friends, they lit the camp on fire. We got to see one of the coolest fights I thought this season which was HAKURO. So HAKURO he's a OG, triple OG, double OG. You know what I mean? And in this episode, he says something really awesome which is that he's kind of like a sore loser. So when he was taking on the Otherworlder thought he was like the next level. He thought he was the ish. He thought he was it, and he got to take him on during the fight. And again, the Otherworlder thought he had a leg up on him, but he called him second rate, and it was just amazing. His third eye came out, and he was basically able to go so fast that even how much the Otherworlder accelerated time, he was able to go faster than that. And guys, he literally cut the F off his head, and because the Otherworlder had been speeding up time, he told him to use that time that he had left to reflect on his sins. He cut off his head, he grabbed his head, and then he freaking told him to look back on his evil deeds. Like, what a freaking pimp. This was like, I mean, such a freaking awesome episode. Then we got to see the Orc Disaster, the Orc Lord, who is probably going to be Orc Disaster later. We got to see the Orc Lord. We got to see his fight with the Otherworlder. We got to see his fight with him. And, we got to see the power that he had. And the Otherworlder ended up having to sacrifice his own friend. So the girl who could basically cause death to a range of her, we got to see him absorb her soul and get an ability where he regenerates. Well, the Orc Lord said, you can regenerate however much you want. I'm gonna kick the crap out of you, which he did. And then we got introduced to the mage of Falmouth, which was that old guy that the Otherworlders had hated and they wanted to kill. He came to the rescue, and apparently he had equipped himself with like some kind of like nuclear magic to where like if he would die in that moment, he would just explode. So HAKURO was able to call the Orc Lord back, and they didn't engage with him, which is really interesting. And we also found out that guy had been passing on his essence and had been passing on himself to other people. So he's been a mage for Falmouth for seems like generations, because he's been living forever because he's able to pass himself onto another body. So he took over the Otherworlder's body, and he's now preparing to fight. Well, the episode ended off with Rimuru finally launching two things. He launched a barrier, which was a similar barrier to what they did with Tempest. He launched a barrier, like an anti-magic barrier. And then he also launched the spell, or the magic spell, called Megiddo, which was this really like rain, like slime rain bubbles that fell from the sky and just like beam rained out to everybody. So when the episode ended, he had killed about 5,000 people. And then we know the next episode is called the birth of a demon lord. So we know that Rimuru is going to succeed and he's going to wipe out everybody. But I am so excited to see what comes next episode. I mean, overall, I mean, this episode was really amazing. I felt fulfilled because of all, like, the last episode 33. I felt like, okay, it was a slow episode. It's kind of setting up stuff. This episode, I felt really fulfilled. I think this was like a 9 out of 10 episode, like, legitly. I thought it was so good. I thought the fight scenes were amazing. Again, we were able to see Gabiru and Benimaru and the Orc Lord and Datta get it in. Get HAKURO's fight. Like, we were able to see some really freaking awesome fights, and then we were able to see Rimuru kind of like take out his rage, which was really awesome. And then this just makes me even more excited for next episode. Like, overall, I thought this episode was really awesome. I thought it was another good one in that time I was reincarnated as a slime. I'm interested to know more. I'm interested to know what's going to happen next. I'm interested to see if he's going to succeed with basically just destroying the F out of Falmouth. And then I want to see what's next when he goes to take on Demon Lord Clayman. You know what I mean? I want to see him take on Clayman now that he's going to be on even playing field, or if not even a step above, because he had said in the past episodes that he has kind of like these suspicions that Clayman might not actually be like a full-fledged Demon Lord, kind of like how Milim is. That's why Milim might be like the strongest. And then where the heck is she at? You know, what is she doing? We know that she was on like a warpath, but why? Where is she doing? So I'm interested to find all of this stuff out, guys. Well, I want to know what you guys thought of the episode down below. Now, what did you rate it? What did you review it? What did you think about it? What are your thoughts, your speculations, and your theories? Put everything down in the comments below, but spoilers, leave spoilers out of there. If you spoil something, I'm sorry, I'm not going to comment to you. I don't want to be spoiled or anything when it comes to the anime, but put everything down in the comments below, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe. It's completely free. Make sure you guys like the video. I definitely appreciate it. And if you guys want to see my full entire reaction to today's episode, click that video right there. Once it's published, it's going to be right here, and the video right below it, guys. Well, YouTube says that one's best for you, so it must be. So cue it up right now, watch it later, and we'll catch you guys on the next anime review. Peace out.